And now, for some arbitrary reason, let's do This Week in the Car again. Can't even fit my whole head in frame, beret and all, unless I angle myself really weird. Whatever. This was just a matter of convenience, and I wanted to get this video out because I'm going to the dentist today, and I don't know how well I'm going to be able to talk. And because of some other factors, I just figured, let's just shoot it in the car. What is all over my car? There is a sticky substance all over my car, like someone, shook open a can of Pepsi and opened it and went everywhere. Kind of looks like that. Not everywhere, but man, I didn't notice that until just now, but yeah, some of that sticky shit building up in my car. Weird. Alright, whatever. Okay, so, I'm in to discuss issue 51. The penultimate issue. The second to last issue in this insane year-long odyssey. And frankly, it's probably good that I got a little time to, it's probably good that I had a class between when I read the comic and when I'm recording this, because if I just got in as soon as if I just turn on the camera as soon as I finish this issue, I would probably look right at it and just yell, "Cop out!" And that would be my entire thoughts. And part of me is still thinking that, but part of me has settled down a little. So, rough summary of Batman Eternal issue 51. We have Cluemaster. Cluemaster delivers the opening lines from the first issue of Batman Eternal, where he's like, I've taken everything away from you. Your city is being destroyed. All that shit I said in the True Villain Revealed video yesterday, which anyone, the few people who watch these should go watch, because that video was a lot of fun to make, and actually had very, very vague connections to what's going on here. So, Cluemaster outlines his whole sinister plan, this whole thing he had going, where he basically explains how, the people at the bottom of the food chain in the Gotham crime syndicate and everything are they're we don't really, we know that about all the things the big bad guys do and all their craziness. And Cluemaster says one night he got an idea that he could pull off something really awesome if Batman was distracted by the bigger bad guys. And the rest of the guys, like Signal Man and Lockup and all them, they kind of laughed him off. He was like, I remembered that, and I kept thinking about it. And then I got the idea that, why not? And really, that's how this entire thing escalated, was that Cluemaster got the idea to invite a bunch of other bad guys into things. He brought in Carmine Falcone, he brought in Hush, and he kind of got all this stuff together so that Batman would basically run himself dry. He would run himself tired fighting all of them, so that basically Cluemaster could come in and be like, what do you think of that? You never suspected it was me. Cluemaster points out, you probably don't have a file on me in the Bat computer, do you? And frankly, that's kind of, yeah, you know what? Hearing that explanation, I know I was really kind of on edge about it last week. Hearing that explanation, this was a fucking awesome twist. I really mean that. I think this was a brilliant way to go. Just to, it deconstructs the notion of the big, grand Batman villain and how everyone's got a master plan. Cluemaster had a master plan that he put into motion, and he brought Gotham to its knees. This nobody, I called him that right in the video last night. Cluemaster, a complete nobody, a throwaway character. A character I got on camera and said, the most interesting thing about Cluemaster is his daughter. No! He turned around and orchestrated what I think is a glorious, fantastic, ridiculously well put together plan for Gotham. And great plan to bring down Batman. And eventually Batman kind of frees himself from his chains that he's on, and they begin their fight. And like Cluemaster points out, you broke 8 of my ribs with one punch last time we fought. You got nothing left in you. And he's right. And the two, Batman can still put up a fight. Cluemaster's still kind of a weakling, but, you know, Cluemaster pulls some knives and he throws some punches, and he basically proves his merit here. This was pretty brilliant, and hell, I loved it. This is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best twists I've seen in a recent comic book. Just the idea that someone as insignificant and as throwaway as the Cluemaster could have come up with something this elaborate, this multi-layered, this like, and you know, he says himself, not everything came together. And, you know, Riddler didn't accept his invitation. Ra's al Ghul didn't accept his invitation. He got Hush, he got Falcone, he got what he needed. And he pulled their plans together into his own, into what is frankly, sure, this was pretty ingenious. And I'm not even convinced that, I'm not convinced that all of the bad guys knew what was going on. I don't think Hush knew that this was Cluemaster's plan. I think, you know, he received the invitation and he came. Carmine Falcone said he didn't know who sent the invitation, so I'm going to assume Hush didn't either. All of that worked. I think all of that worked really, really well. And then we get to the end of the book, wherein, like, a great scene. Cluemaster beats Batman onto the ground. He pulls a gun, and he's like, I'm just gonna shoot you. I know it's not an elegant way to go. But hey, actually now that I think about it, maybe it is. Your folks were killed by some nobody, weren't they? Just another down-on-his-luck thief in an alley 2 miles from here. I wish I could say this was grand design, but it sure is appropriate. And now you can die, just as they did. Brilliant! I friggin' love it. I love it. And then Owlman comes out from behind him and cuts his throat, and is like, but I've always had a plan of my own. Hello, brother. Are you ready to end this? Damn it! I was so ready. And you know what? I pointed this out. I pointed this out on a couple of online message boards and everything. Not even message boards, just comment sections or whatever. That like, no, it's not going to be Owlman. And I wanted so bad for it not to be Owlman. I don't care about Owlman. I don't care about Lincoln March. I don't care about Thomas Wayne Jr. I don't. I never read Court of Owls, okay? I don't care about him. And yes, alright, this was indeed foreshadowed. This was better foreshadowed than the Cluemaster was. I'll admit it. Ra's al Ghul made references to it. The Riddler made references to it in his cone about family. Hush even told Alfred that there was another member of the family in the house. And it was surely Owlman who brought on some of that destruction in the Batcave. Well, along with Hush. That makes sense. That stands to reason. Thomas Wayne Jr. makes sense. But I don't like it. I don't want him to be here. Because we already had something great going, and I maintain Prometheus is still a better pick. Especially with all the fire. Our 75th anniversary of Batman, and our main key antagonist, and maybe you could argue, it doesn't make sense for it to be a nobody. It doesn't make sense for it to be someone like Cluemaster. But Cluemaster's argument that he was a nobody, and that's why the plan worked, and it's just like when Joe Chill shot Thomas and Martha Wayne. All of that, Cluemaster's argument this issue, how he formulated this plan, perfect. The greatest argument you could have made for Cluemaster being the main villain. I got on board. I was ready for it to be him. I had fully accepted it's him by the time it was over. And Lincoln March walks in. I do not even know what his proper villain title is. If it's Lincoln March or if it's Owlman. So I'll call him Junior. I'm going to call him Junior because he's Thomas Wayne Jr. When Junior walked in and cut his throat, I was pissed. And I'm still kind of pissed. But here's going to be the qualifier to that. Here's going to be the caveat. Here's going to be the thing. If this was still Clue Master's plan, and Owlman just hijacked it, okay. Okay. If you don't give me some overly elaborate, stupid explanation of how Owlman put this idea in Clue Master's head, and Clue Master was just a pawn this entire time. No. If Owlman is a piece of the puzzle who stepped in, and it was still Clue Master's plan, and then cut his throat and is like, no, after everything you said, an A-rank villain still does deserve to be here. I don't even consider Owlman an A-rank villain. Sorry, Junior. I'm calling him Junior. I don't even consider Junior an A-rank villain. I don't think he works for this. And we just, ugh. It's like Snyder has two story ideas in his head, because we've kind of gone back and forth on those two. Because we open up, we've got the Court of Owls stuff, and that eventually leads to Junior. And then we've got the Death of the Family stuff, and that leads to Joker. And yes, we did 0 year for a year. Fine. But now we're back to Junior, and in the main Batman books, we're back to Joker. And the Joker stuff, which I'm not going to rant about those here, but like, if you had told me we were going to get Joker meets Crossed, I would be very excited, and then it was frankly anticlimactic. The Joker stuff has felt rather anticlimactic, and I'm not going to talk Joker here, because this is Batman Eternal. We're focusing on Batman Eternal. The thing is, if this is still Clue Master's plan, and Lincoln and Junior was there, and he was, playing a pawn to it, he was probably the Man in Black. He was probably the Man in Black at the very beginning of the series. That probably wasn't Hush. Because Stephanie said Bruce Wayne is behind everything. So that's probably Junior. I have no idea what Junior looks like under the mask. I don't know what he actually looks like, but if he really is Bruce Wayne's brother, which from what I understand, there was some ambiguity there. There was some, like, maybe he's not, maybe he's just crazy, but if he really is, alright. So, like, that makes sense. Again, yes, it was foreshadowed that it was going to be Junior. I liked the Clue Master stuff so much better. Ugh. So, whatever. If it's Junior, and he's like, and he was planning to betray him the whole time, but, like, as long as it's not Junior who came up with this great plan. Because, like, this great plan right now feels like it's Clue Master's, and frankly, I think Clue Master deserves to keep it. This deserves to be the greatest Clue Master story ever written. Batman Eternal deserves to be the greatest Clue Master story ever written. And it's crazy, and I don't mean to take that away from Spoiler and Batgirl and all that. I don't mean to take that away from Stephanie, but, like, freaking, I love The Lesson. I love the Batgirl series, and I even really enjoy, Clue Master's first series and his subsequent confrontations with Spoiler and all that. But it's like this really deserves to be Clue Master's greatest story ever. And frankly, I hope he doesn't get overshadowed here. This deserves to be looked back on. Clue Master in this story deserves to be looked back on as the pawn, as the nobody who ascended. Who did what a nobody never could in Gotham. It deserves to turn into that. So, after everything, and after how well this whole bout of insanity came together, this deserves to be the greatest Clue Master story ever. And I sincerely hope that we remember it as that. Because I was totally on board with all of this. I was totally on board with Clue Master as the villain. And he did it because Batman would have never figured that it was him. That's cool. That is, in my mind. I'll say it, after hearing Clue Master's explanation today, a bloody fantastic twist. And we'll see what Lincoln does. We'll see what Junior contributes. And maybe I'll end up liking it. I wouldn't have said that earlier. And there's pretty much only 2 scenes in this entire book. So it's time to talk about the other one, which also pissed me off. So Stephanie's in her spoiler garb. She's given everything over to, she's given everything over to the press. She's given everything over to Vicky Vale, which presumably means that we're going to have the claim that Bruce Wayne was behind everything, which I guess is somehow not going to mesh with what's going on in Endgame right now. Although maybe he'll get arrested at the end of all of this. That would be an interesting conclusion. If Bruce Wayne got unmasked in some capacity and then got arrested, and that leads into the bunny robot thing. That's such a weird sentence. That leads into the bunny robot thing. Whatever. So I don't know. Maybe that'll happen. But the point is and Stephanie's gonna run for her life, and she tracks down Harper, and she's like, this isn't our fight. Let's just get out of here. And Harper's like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna save everybody. And okay, I get it. Okay, I understand. This is the first new 52 Steph story. Okay, I get it. I even get why she went to Harper, because Harper's the only member of the Batman family she's had any interaction with, which is stupid. It's stupid, but whatever. She couldn't have been, she couldn't have had Barbara looking after her in some capacity. I'm thinking about how much better this would be if Barbara was there. If Barbara was taking Harper's place, this would be 1,000,000 times more interesting. If Barbara was the one who was trying to take care of Stephanie, and we would have, the Batgirl versus spoiler angle, which would be cool as hell. I'm sorry, a Batgirl versus spoiler angle here? Holy hell, how meta! I've got this in my head, and I'm like, how much cooler would that be? Man. How much friggin' cooler would that be? But no, and she's like, let's get out of here. Harper's like, no, and she's gonna save everybody in the city and all that. And it's like, it feels disrespectful. It feels disrespectful to Stephanie's legacy, to the fact that pre-52 Stephanie would not back down from anything. And I get it. Different universe, different character, but it's not supposed to be entirely a different character. And she's gonna run for her life, and surely in the next issue, she's probably gonna turn around and help out, and then she's gonna disappear because we haven't seen her in Endgame at all, and hopefully we're gonna get some kind of explanation for that so we can keep getting stuff. Whatever, Convergence is coming out. I get my proper Stephanie back then. But the point is, to have Harper of all people, to have this character who is a bad self-insert, who is a bad fan-fiction character who's here. She has all the freaking traits of a bad fan-fiction character. Stupid hair, too many facial piercings, she's got things via her brother, she's got gangst. And it's Snyder shoving her down our throats. Look how great this character I made is. Snyder is a kid holding Harper on a piece of paper and saying, "Mommy, put this on the fridge. Look at this great thing I did." Ugh! Waste of panel. That is what this character remains to me. Complete waste of panel. But whatever. Stephanie's going to be inspired by Harper. Big friggin' ugh. Ugh. If that was Cassandra, I could buy it. Because Cassie doesn't back down. Cassandra Cain doesn't hide from shit. Cassandra Cain will face anything and will not run away. And you know what? Cassandra Cain teaching Stephanie something just as Stephanie's taught Cassie a lot. That would make a lot of sense. If this could just be Cassandra Cain, if this could just be anyone but Harper, this would be more okay. It's still not okay to treat Stephanie's legacy like this. It's still not okay to portray her as a coward like this. Especially considering all the bullshit she put up with in the old universe. I have said that Stephanie Brown is one of my favorite DC characters because very few other characters put up with as much basic human bullshit as she does. And this is one more example of it. And Convergence better be damn good, and I have faith that it will be. I am very optimistic about Convergence. It sounds like it's going to be good. It sounds like we're going to get our Brian Q. Miller era Steph back with some more Dixon in there. You know, you know, if you ask me to choose between the two, it's awful hard because I like Brian Q. Miller and I like Chuck Dixon a lot, both of them. Even Gail Simone's done some cool stuff with Steph before. In her Birds of Prey crossovers and all that. Or even in the Future's End Batgirl issue. That was very much pre-52 Stephanie. There was a lot, the Batgirl, the Stephanie Brown Batgirl we see in Future's End, in the Future's End one-shot. Fantastic. That was Steph. Everyone was on key in that issue. I am probably going to have to do a mini adaptation of that issue sometime here soon. We will probably do a video where I do a mini adaptation of that issue. It's that good. And that might even happen here in the foreseeable future because some Runaway stuff is going to be put on the back burner. I'm sorry to admit, and I hate to admit that in this video right here. And I'm probably going to have to I'll explain more in a vlog here soon. But whatever, we're still talking Batman Eternal. So, alright, the Stephanie stuff was stupid, and I hated it, but she's probably going to come back, and if not in this story, in a future one, and there's going to be a redemptive side to her, which, alright, I'm not going to hold this to her. I'm not going to hold this to her forever, but it's just that we had this entire story to make me like Harper. And so many twists went wrong, so much shit was poorly handled, especially in relation to Harper and Stephanie, and to a lesser degree Harper and Tim, and good God, do not give me a Harper, Stephanie, Tim love triangle. Just give me my Red Robin and my spoiler back. Give me my Red Robin, give me my Tim and Steph romance back, please. Convergence. Maybe Convergence will do it right. Alright, so I've gone on and on about Owlman. I keep calling him Owlman. About Junior, about Harper, about Stephanie, about Cluemaster. If you cut a few pages out of this issue, it would be glorious. If we weren't putting a twist on top of a twist, this would be really, really damn cool. And as is, it still has the ability to be really damn cool. We've got one more week. We've got one more week for this to go right. And if anything, I've been shown sometimes 1 week is all you need sometimes one issue is all you need to really set a story straight. So hopefully we're going to get that next week. And if not, it'll be a shame that this year-long odyssey ended like this. But you know what? I'll hold out. I try my very hardest to be an optimist. So, 1 week of Batman Eternal left. Let's see if we can end on a high note. I'll probably have some video talking about some stuff up before then. But if nothing else, we'll chat about the last issue and my thoughts on this entire year-long insanity next week. Thanks for watching.